All right, here's what's wild about the Boise market right now. You see listings are barely up year over year, but pending sales are actually up 25% year over year. So buyer demand is coming back and snatching up inventory, even with rates rising and all the global uncertainty. So if you want to find out more about what that means for you, watch the rest of this video. No, I would not call this a full-blown seller's market yet, but yes, inventory is actually tightening. And we're going to look at the numbers super fast, but before we do that, I just want you to know if this continues for the next 30 to 60 days, we are going to be entering a much different market than we are at today, and that could mean consequences for you if you are a buyer or seller. So I'm going to show you the data, a couple key points, and then I'm going to show you City of Trees real estate data so you can see how we may differ from the market itself. So let's go ahead and take a peek real quick. So the first thing I want you guys to recognize is the numbers we're talking about. So we have 902 homes on the market at the end of March. We had 856 year over year. So this time last year, 856. The key takeaway is this time last year, we only had 496 go pending. This year, we had 626 go pending. That is a difference of almost 25%. So the pendings are significantly outpacing what is actually happening in terms of new inventory coming on the market. So we did grow in inventory, but we usually grow in inventory for the spring, right? Most people want to put their home on March, April, May, maybe June. Like that's when we see a big influx of inventory, but most of that inventory is getting chewed up. Now, what makes it super interesting is rates the entire month of March actually went up. Due to all the global uncertainty with what's going on in Iran, we've seen rates go up tremendously, and that's because of fears of inflation, because the rising price in oil. You can go look into that more if you have any interest in doing that. But rates are ticking up in March, and we have buyers coming to the table. Now, one of my agents mentioned this to me. She said, I wonder if it's because rates went down so much in January and February that a lot of those people got pre-approved, and then they didn't go up that much, so those people are now coming and buying. That could be the case, but it's not an even level playing field. So let's look a little bit more at the data here. If we come into the actual price points, I'm going to back out just a little bit here. You can see that, if you get into like the 300 to 500 range, there's essentially less than 1 month supply. And if you get into the 500 to a million range, it's between 1.8 and 2.4 months of supply. Even up to 1.5 million, you're at 2.2 months of supply. But this is not happening in these larger price points. So, I called this, probably 3 or 4 months ago. The inventory in that 2 million plus range was massive and it was growing really fast. Now we're actually seeing it come down a little bit, but it's still high. You're 4.9 months supply when you get into the 1.5 to 2 million, and you are over 8 months supply if you're at 2 million plus. Keep in mind, a lot of these people have pulled some of those homes off the market. They haven't necessarily sold yet. There's only 6 pending. So while it's showing that, we sell roughly, 5 a month or so, there's only 6 pending, and they're usually pending for months. If you're building a $2 million house, you can see those homes be pending for months. So let me dive into one last number. I think this is kind of important for you guys to see. We have data for City of Trees real estate. Some of the numbers we track that we think are super important are the average days on market for active listings. The average days on market for active listings for the MLS is currently 41 days on market. So when you get into City of Trees, we are at 32 days on market. When you get into the sold side, the average for the MLS is 47, and City of Trees is 42. Now, that's not to mention, the average original price versus the actual sold price. The average MLS is, right around 95%, and we're right around, or 92%. We're right around 97%. So if you're considering buying or selling in this market, we strongly encourage you to interview agents. We know that most of our buyers and sellers know an agent. They probably know multiple agents. We also know that not all agents are created equal. This market is shifting and shafting, and it's moving very quickly, and that can mean a lot for you as a buyer or a seller. Like right now, if your agent hasn't done a lot of business, or even if they've only done 1 or 2 deals, they haven't seen this data and how it's actually happening in real time. There's certain price points where we're getting multiple offers. We had 52 people through one open house. We got 5 offers on that house. Now, it was under 500,000, but that particular market is moving fast. So if you have an agent that doesn't know what they're doing and you find your dream home and you don't understand, you might have to get aggressive to win that. You might lose out on your dream home. Subsequently, if you have a home you're selling and it's not being marketed properly in the right ways to drive the traffic to get multiple offers, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. So I implore you to interview agents, find out what they're doing differently. You probably know 2 or 3 or 4. Make sure you interview a couple and make one of them a City of Trees real estate agent. So we're going to be looking very closely at this data over the next 30 and 60 days. If this trend continues, you will see a lot of shifting in our market. And we could see this go to a seller's market. 1 month does not create a trend. Let's see what happens between now and the next time we film this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Chase with City of Trees Real Estate. If you have questions, comments, put them in the comment section below or reply to the email where you got this from. Thanks.